Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
My name's Ricky. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ricky.
I'm Lilith.
I think we should start with everyone introducing themselves and then saying their favourite moment of Heroes from all the seasons. So I'll start.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be a tad bit hard.
My name's Ricky. My favourite moment from seasons ever. My favorite moment from Heroes ever is the reveal of Future Hero at the end of episode 4. So yeah, that's me. Lilith, next.
Hey, I'm Lilith, obviously. My favorite Heroes moments from any season ever are Heroes Yattas. Whether they're soft ones like in the finale or really excited ones like in the premiere, and clear suicide attempts. I just kind of wish sometimes that they stuck.
Okay, I guess we'll go with Tyler. Tyler, do you have anything coming to mind?
I said one of my favorite Heroes moment was Claire and Gretchen's relationship in season 4.
Ooh.
Scandalous. Who do we have next? I'll go with Charlie. Charlie, come on.
I'd have to say probably when we first saw Syaza in 6 months ago, to see him as he originally was, I think that was my favourite moment.
Oh, you see him in his Clark Kent persona.
Yeah.
More like Norman Bates or whatever.
Oh god, Norman.
Syaza? Sorry.
It's Syaza, but it's okay.
Syaza,
hi, my name's Syaza. I think my favorite part would probably be when Future Peter comes back from the Future Peter comes to the present time, and he kind of reveals a lot of things, like Claire turning bad and everything.
Oh yeah.
So that would be my favorite.
Shooting him and
Yeah, exactly. Like plot twist. Hold on.
Tracy.
Sorry.
Tracy, what's your favourite moment?
Anything with Claude Rains.
Oh, number 9. Lilith will agree with you on that. She loves it. She loves the old Christopher Eccleston.
He doesn't.
Okay. So I guess we'll get into the old crux of the episode. Lilith, do you want to lead us through it?
Do you want to do a summary first, Ricky?
Why not? Okay.
I don't have my notes.
wait, let me go find him.
Okay. My notes say Nikki and DL reunite with Micah. Nikki finally dominates over Jessica and unleashes her strength for the first time on her own. Matt and Mahinda and Bennett use Molly to find Sylar. Peter has another dream. Ando confronts Sylar. Everyone converges on Kirby Plaza for the final showdown. Mr. Bennett, Matt, Nikki, Peter, and Hero heroically battle Sylar. Nathan makes a tough decision regarding the future. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. So I kind of just want to talk about the technical really quick. This was, of course, written by Tim Crean. It was directed by Alan Arkush. And I don't know. I was expecting a Greg Beeman to direct this. Thank God we're getting them back for Heroes Reborn. Okay.
More extreme close-up.
Okay, so we pick up where the last episode stopped, kind of, sort of. After killing Linderman, Nikki asked DL why he didn't phase the bullet through himself and let it hit her. DL's like, just shut up and go save Micah. But Nikki tells DL that he can only get them out. And then we see kind of the door handle jiggling as Linderman's guards storm into the room, only to find it empty. We cut to Matt on the floor. Molly recognizes him as Officer Parkman and asks if he's there to keep her safe. I smile. My heart melts because y'all know how I feel. He realizes who she is and reassures her that no one will hurt her, looking towards Mohinder and especially HRG with their guns drawn. That standoff that lasted, 18 hours? Heroes rushes out of the Jitsu arms and ponders Ando's fate. His father urges him to forget his friend and remember his mission, and I was like, damn, that's cold. But Hiro asks his father not to lose faith in him, and he goes, just don't forget your legacy, and hands him the repaired sword, and off he teleports away because it was the Dumbo feather all along.
Let's be honest about this, this whole beginning bit before they started up, the heroes, Sting Cap. It was blatantly just previously on Heroes for the first 10 minutes. It was just giving us.
The first 1 minute and 35 seconds definitely was a previously on without being a previously on. And then I kept did we see the scene before?
It's like Heroes is usually.
The actual finale's 20 minutes, right?
Yeah. Heroes is usually good at doing those kind of previously ons, but they do it from a different point of view, so it kind of feels fresh, but at the same time, it just felt far too long. But yeah.
Hashtag deja vu. We cut to Siler. We see him in one of his weird painty trances, and he begins to see flashes of the future. He, in a really cool actual sequence of the painting coming to fruition, we see him draw a standoff between himself and Peter at Kirby Plaza. And then he kind of freaks out and he does a teenage girl painter thing and slashes Peter with little black ink and stuff. Then we hear Nathan's speech from earlier playing, and of course Angela comes in to make sure he ain't chickening out. And she also tells him that Linderman's dead, but that doesn't matter because it wasn't just his plan. And he goes, yeah, I know it's necessary. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Mom. Nikki and DL get to the 42nd floor somehow, but DL urges her to go alone.
Let's stop for a minute here, Lilith. Oh. Let's ask everyone else how they feel about the Sanderses, because if they listen to our podcast, you've got to know that we hate, hate's a strong word, but we kind of switch off when the Sanderses are on. So, Charlie, what do you think about the...
It's the Sanderses.
Charlie, what do you think of the Sanders?
I got annoyed with them. They got so dragged into it. They had nothing to do with it right until the end. I don't know why they were there.
Exactly. Syaza?
Their characters seem pretty irrelevant most of the time. They don't really have much to do with all the other characters. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Tyler, are you gonna break the streak and actually like them, or are we gonna get the full sweep here?
I'm impartial because I was I like Nikki, but with the whole Jessica aspect, it was all wait, what? At first, when I first watched, I'm huh? What's going on? But I was gonna say, I like Nikki, but I'm iffy towards her Jessica persona.
Okay. See, me and Lilith, we like Micah, and we think Micah's the most. Micah's the most adult one of them all. But,
yeah, it's so true.
Very true.
Have you guys seen the picture of Micah now?
Yeah, he looks really
He looks so different.
He's huge. He's obviously been working out.
He's been hanging out with Jonathan Lipsnicki from Maguire.
Okay, Lilith, do you want to carry on?
Okay.
Where the Sanderses.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, DL gives her a motivational speech to save Micah, and thank God we cut to Mohinder and Mr. Bennett as they drag Thompson's body away, and they discuss how the company used to stand for something, but now it's corrupt. And I'm like, well, you were locking up human beings, so, maybe you were always corrupt, and now that the shoe's on the other foot. Just saying. Molly cries out that she is not feeling well, and Mohinder rushes over to help her. Then it answers a call from Claire, who tells him Siler murdered Ted, and now Siler has Ted's abilities. And then HRG talks to Peter and tells him that he's the only one who can stop Siler. And then he goes, "Yeah, we got a tracking system."
They're also taking the phone. It's weird, because obviously now in 2015, looking back on it, everyone's just on the phone while driving, which obviously is a big no-no now. Yeah. And then also how 1 minute HRG's all ready to kill Molly, and the next moment he's like, "Yeah, we got a tracking system, we'll find you." It's just so.
Das Ex Machina! That's all I think of. I love Molly, but at the end of the day, that's all her power was. But it was still cooler than Nikki's, just saying. So yeah. Then we see Peter, who pulls the rental car into the parking lot where Nathan is waiting. Claire freaks out. She goes, "We can't trust him." And Peter's like, "No, I need him. I'm scared. He's my blankie." Basically, that's how that scene went, did it not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Peter jumps out and tries to get his comfort fix from Nathan, but he reads his mind and realizes that he's in on it, and he just can't believe it. And then he turns around, and of course, Claire is gone, so he goes invisible. And he runs outside, but then he passes out. Damn it, Peter.
Peter's fainting power.
And so, meanwhile, Claire's been found by Angela, of course.
Naturally.
With Molly still weak, Bennett urges Mohinder to make Molly's abilities work to find Siler. Matt asks how she does it and if she can find anyone in the world. Molly tells him she can't find one person who is much worse than Siler. I was like, I doubt that. She states that when she thinks about this individual, that the person can actually see her when she thinks about him. Bennett reminds Molly of the task at hand, and she actually locates him on Reed Street, prompting Bennett's realization that Siler is at Isaac's Loft.
Is that the time when they introduce the aspect of the new bad guy, right, for the next season?
Yeah.
Who was a great disappointment again as well.
Yeah. They were like, "Bring back Siler!" Basically, that's how that went. HRG calls Claire again, but then Angela picks up the phone like a boss, of course. And she's like, "I got this." And then Claire's like, "Hey, can I talk to my dad?" And she's like, okay, little girl. So they talk. They have a little family moment. And she goes, "Tell me you have a plan." And HRG's like, "I don't, but I'm just going to tell her I do and wait." And he's like, "Hey, if you go with them, but the second you get a chance to escape, do that, okay?" After the call, he tells Matt that their new priority is to find Peter so that he can stop Siler. Of course, Matt wants to be a hero, and he tells Bennett that Peter is not needed and he's going to do it himself. And HRG's like, "Yeah, son, you're going to get yourself killed." What happens after? Oh, unconscious Peter in the street awakens to another dream, and it's on that precious little rooftop of the Deveaux building. He's surprised to see himself meeting Charles Deveaux for the first time in the wheelchair with Angela in tow. Oh, this is the section I dubbed unnecessary reveal, but okay.
Yeah.
After leaving the two friends, this Peter meets Simone, and that was love at first sight? I don't think so.
It's essentially like this is Charles Deveaux's Yoda speech for the whole thing, isn't it? He's just giving him everything that he needs to give Peter the courage to go on, which is, you're right, it's very unnecessary. They could have saved some money and put it on a bigger budget for the fight, but you know how they are.
Fight? What fight?
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
When asked about their parents' connections, the other Peter notes that Angela is full of surprises. Oh, he don't know the half of it. He goes on to tell Simone that he is not a hero, but that Charles is, explaining that death, his thoughts on death, beauty, and life. And I felt like I was in what's that movie with Kevin Spacey, American Beauty?
Yeah.
Just so cheesy and schmaltzy. So after that, Peter overhears Charles talking to Angela about Linderman's plan, and he's like, I think you're backing the wrong brother, and I'm like, really? I used to like you right until you said that. Peter, the special little snowflake that he is, he thinks that Peter's heart is the thing that's going to save the world and not Nathan's determination and strength. Angela disagrees and said that the bomb will occur and Nathan will lead the world after. Charles goes, well, I guess I'm not going to be around, so, hey. Good luck with all that. And then Charles acknowledges Peter's presence in what seems to be a dream. Dun, dun, dun! I know you're there, Peter. Cut to Ando with a sword in Isaac's loft.
Oh, wow.
So ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's like Siler's looking at a painting. He's looking at the painting, he slips on blood on the floor, and then when he turns around, Siler throws the sword behind him and starts choking Ando, and he sees the future predicting comic book, and just bad dialogue ensues.
Yeah.
Ando tells Siler he can't take his brain, and Siler's like, I don't want your brain, I just like killing stuff. So Siler reminds him, Hero. Wait, what happens after that? Oh, after asking Ando where Peter is, he begins to cut at Ando's throat, and then Hero teleports in. He retrieves the sword and confronts Siler, and Hero actually stops time and saves Ando, and off they head.
And how does Siler think that he's going to be any faster than someone who can stop time? Come on, man.
Well, the first time that they met, he did kind of screw up. Let's just be real.
I suppose.
Cut to Nikki, who finds an open door with what appears to be Jessica sitting on a couch. She shows Nikki Micah passed out on the floor with blood on his face. She then kicks Nikki in the face while she's bent over, and I'm like, yes, another cathartic release. That scene went by way too quick. And then we cut to Matt, who enters Isaac's loft with his gun at the ready. While walking around, he notices the various paintings, including the painting of Siler and Kirby Plaza. He then rushes out of the loft, half-cocked, as usual. Mohander gathers Molly's supplies and tells Molly that they're leaving because Matt said the boogeyman is coming. And then she's like, he's already here. Ugh. Of course he is. After discussing their plans to leave, Nathan and Angela are questioned by Claire about why they aren't trying to stop the explosion. Nathan notes that the future explosion it's just unstoppable. And then she's like, you're just going to let Peter die? And then she's like, he has your ability. That makes it okay?
It does make it okay. He can survive it, which kind of takes the tension out of everything to do with him, because even if he does explode, he's going to survive. And
but if you explode, that's what I'm saying. Your head comes off.
Live with yourself.
You disappear to the void. Then you incinerate. Okay. When Claire asks Nathan why he will let Peter be responsible for so many deaths, Nathan asks her for her trust and embraces her. And then Angela's like, you're going to get everything you want. And she tells him that, I don't want to be with you, and straight jumps out the window.
Like a boss.
Yikes!
Yep.
How are you supposed to take that as a grandma and a dad? Nikki and Jessica continue to fight with each other, ending with Nikki being knocked into a mirror.
One minute. Jenny, hello. How are you?
Hello.
Jenny's joined. Jenny's just joined. Jenny, at the beginning of the chat, everyone was saying their name and their favorite heroes moment. Do you want to join? Do you want to say?
That's a hard question. There are a lot of good moments in Heroes.
What's the first one that pops into mind?
Probably the introduction of Hero himself.
Yes. It's all about the hero. Okay. Lilith, you want to carry on?
Oh God, we were still with the mirror shattering with Nikki or whatever.
Let's just move past that. Come on. It's the Sanderses. Let's just move past that.
Well, no, this is kind of an important thing because it was foreshadowed in 5 years ago that Jessica leaves her the night of the explosion or whatever.
Okay.
So finally, she says that she's the real Jessica and that's not her, and so she tells her to fight her that she's strong enough, and then Nikki pushes the other Jessica sitting her across the room. Candace's illusions fades away, and then we hear Micah, who's in like a pantry or something. I didn't know hotel rooms had pantries, but whatever. She rips the door open, and Micah's like, "Is it really you, Mom?" And Nikki looks into the mirror and only sees herself and says, "She got baby." Molly and Mohinder try to leave and find DL injured on the floor, and I'm like, just keep going. But, you know, Mohinder's a doctor, supposedly. And so he examines DL, and Molly tries to use the elevator, but it doesn't work. Mohinder notes it's been disabled, and then he tells Molly to look for stairwells, but people are coming. For some reason, Hiro decided to teleport him and Ando to the Yamagata Industries. And Hiro tells Ando that he has to do this alone.
Yes.
Besties, super speech time. Ando tells him that he's not afraid, but Hiro tells him he learned bravery from Ando. Ando reminds him of his heroic stories Hiro has told him and believes that people will one day speak of Hiro Nakamura the same way. Hiro gives the sword to Ando and says, "This is so you know I'll be back." And he tells Ando the sword doesn't make the man, but the journey, and that he's ready. And after Ando tells him he looks badass, Hiro takes Ando's sword and teleports away. He doesn't look as badass as future Hiro yet.
Hopefully in Heroes Reborn.
Hopefully.
Dude, if they don't do it, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Charles notes to Peter that invisibility would be a good ability to have. Peter asks how he's here, wondering if it's a dream. He's like, shh, baby, shh, don't even think about it because we don't even know. Charles tells him that he's there because he needs to learn that he will save the world. Charles knows that Peter has the ability to love unconditionally. Really? Just reminding him of a previous conversation that love is all that matters. He says he's tired, and Peter watches his other self come and will Charles away. Then Mr. Bennett wakes Peter up, noting the tracking system's success in finding him. Bennett tells Peter that Claire is with Peter's mother and leaving the city. And he tells him that, we gotta, I'm gonna help stop you, because help you find Siler and stop him because you saved Claire's life. So, I guess this is what we're doing. And this is the first time we hear somebody call him Noah, right?
Yeah. It's the first. I remember it was like when I first watched it, it was like a big oh my god moment, and rewatching it was like, no, yeah, I knew that.
No, it got cheapened because literally just before that dream sequence, Charles says, he goes, "Hey, Mr. Deveaux," he goes, "Call me Charles," and then they literally do that like.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was meant to be like Noah was going to be like a mentor to him. That never kind of came to fruition. So Molly tells Mohinder that the guards are coming up the stairs. Just then, Micah and Nikki emerge. Micah sees his father's hurt on the ground, and then Mohinder tells them they have to go. Nikki removes the door handle for the stairwell. Then Micah summons the elevator. The group boards the elevator before the guards can arrive.
And then we get the fight. Doesn't he arrive?
Bennett and Peter, yeah, right after this is when everybody starts to kind of pour in.
Huh? What?
What? I just heard like Godzilla or something. Mr. Bennett and Peter arrive at Kirby Plaza where Siler sneaks up on the tube telekinetically and throws Bennett across the plaza, kind of really injuring him. Siler asks if he's killed Peter before, and Peter puts that it didn't take. Lame. Siler begins to choke Peter telekinetically when Matt arrives, firing multiple shots at Siler. And of course, he catches them in midair and projects them back at Matt, injuring him.
Yeah, who knows? We know.
Well, Addison, he had a vest on. So.
I don't know.
As Micah, Nikki, Dia, Molly, and Mohinder all exit the Kirby Plaza, Mohinder notices that Matt is injured and goes to attend to him. Siler tells Peter he will not let it ruin him by exploding and grabs a nearby parking meter, sending it across the plaza to his hand. After hitting Peter, Nikki sees the ensuing conflict and steps in. She grabs the parking meter from Siler and swings it into his stomach. Peter gets up, tells Nikki to go to her family, then absorbs her enhanced strength and engages Siler in hand-to-hand combat. Siler begins to laugh as Peter's hands begin to glow. Peter yells in disbelief, and then Siler tells Peter that he's the villain, which has been my theory the whole time. Such a damn wet blanket. That Siler, in fact, is the hero. Suddenly, Hero appears and stabs Siler, proclaiming, Yatta! The best Yatta of all.
Oh my god, yeah.
It is.
And proving Siler wrong and that he indeed is the villain, not the hero that he thought he was. Peter sees Hero and asks him to kill him so he will not explode. Suddenly, Siler telekinetically throws Hero across the plaza. He manages to teleport away before he hits the side of the building. Siler smiles and lays his head down with visions of all his victims flashing, ending with himself.
Yay! Oh no.
No. Oh, sorry, Charlie. Yes, yay. Peter continues to grow in intense fight when Claire arrives. She takes the gun from her father and approaches Peter. Peter tells her she has to kill him, telling her she's the only one. She asks if there's any other way, but he tells her there's no other way. Suddenly, Nathan, like a boss, now this is the biggest boss moment of Hero's career. He tells his daughter there is another way. He says the future isn't written in stone, echoing her sentiments earlier, and she lowers the gun. Peter tells Nathan that he can't control his abilities, but Nathan tells him he's not leaving and there's another way to end it. Peter tells Nathan he can't let his brother die, but Nathan says he will not let others die. And so he tells Peter that Peter saved his cheerleader so that they could save the world. After expressing a way super tender moment and their love for one another, Nathan carries Peter and flies high into the sky. As the others
carry him. He doesn't carry him, he hugs him. It just so happens that he flies at the same time.
The hug that saved the world. I love that tweet. It's weird that everybody was just standing around though, like, oh.
Yeah, everyone's just standing around watching him while he's glowing. Like, I'd be out of there.
They're like, ooh, shiny.
Exactly.
Nuclear man!
So they float off into the heavens, a large explosion occurs, and they peacefully burn out.
Yay.
Yeah. Yay? I mean, okay. This would have been awesome had they did the rolling cast.
Yeah. But never to be.
There's still a chance. Cut to Matt getting carried away by the EMTs. Molly runs to him and channels her inner Lilith and says, "You're my hero, don't die." And then she's held by Mohinder as Matt is loaded into the ambulance. Bennett asks Claire if they're ready to go home, and they say home is wherever your family is, but I'm like, which family?
Okay, I would have gone. Personally, I would have gone with Angela Petrelli because she's more of a boss, and also she's loaded, so you know.
Yeah, she's not middle management. But then again, it's gonna be awesome with hiding the boys, you know. So.
No one knows about them boys. No one knows what happened to them.
I just assume they died in the plane. So yeah, then we cut to a streak of blood from where Siler laid to an open manhole that was across the plaza. And then a cockroach crawls on the manhole cover, ending Volume 1.
Yeah.
And I get mad and almost break my TV or my laptop, depending on what I'm watching on, every single time. So that's the end of Volume 1. But we get a little preview of Volume 2, but not before Sunil's smooth, sweet voice takes us out.
No, at the end of the day, like, that first opening narration that he does is, like, from the first episode, I think, so it's very, with the very much the Indian accent. It just disappears throughout the whole season. Like, if you have to...
becomes more American.
I know. Yeah. If you have to slowly chart his evolution as a character, you just have to talk about his Indian accent throughout the whole thing and how it just slowly disappears from, like, one episode.
It kind of happens when you live in New York, though. I will be honest. I had a really bad California accent before I went to college in New York, and then, like, 6 years in New York, it's like flat Yankee vowels all the way.
Fair enough.
So yeah, do you guys want to talk about Volume 2 or?
Just do the end of it and then we can. Yeah,
So
just finish it off.
basically, yeah, we get a little shot that says Generations, and then Volume 2 basically begins in a field with Hero falling out of the sky. He picks himself up, and he like sees all these like Japanese samurais preparing to shoot arrows. Then he turns around and he sees another samurai over the hill, and the samurai's flying this different banner. And of course, it's Kensei, the fabled Kensei, and he seems to be sandwiched between a battle about to take place. Yeah, basically. So yeah, that's where we kind of end.
Okay. So what we'll do first is we'll go through trivia and then everyone can give their thoughts on the episode, just the episode, and then after that we'll go on to like characters and talk about their character development throughout the whole season. So I'll just go through some of the trivia now, which is all the main characters obviously appear in the episode. Bennett's name is finally revealed as Noah. According to NASA, catalogue of solar eclipses, 4 solar eclipses occurred in 1671, all of them partial. That's basically it. Hero's expletive in Japanese translates as big or huge pinch, which, yeah, it's, you know how the Japanese do. Anyway, after Nikki knocks Candace out, Candace lost control of the powers and the illusions of Jessica and Micah vanished, yet she returned to her usual appearance instead of reverting to her huge form of Betty, which if you've read the comics come out after this and they go into... Oh, we like the comics.
No, I like them too.
Yes, we do.
I was going to say, the only one I own is the Volume 2. I haven't been able to find Volume 1 or Volume 3.
Oh,
I just saw Volume 1 on Amazon.com. This podcast.
Volume 3 never made it out.
No, that's what I figured. Volume 3 never made it out, but I was going to say, the comics are fairly good.
Yeah, we have we shout out the website that has all of them.
So yeah, just DM me afterwards, and then we'll give you the website. So yeah.
Okay.
When Matt tries to shoot Syaza, 4 distinct gunshots are heard, although 5 bullets are seen discharged. That's a really poop piece of trivia. Syaza asks Peter whether he's already killed him, and Peter replies it didn't take. In Homecoming, when questioned by Jackie about being grounded, Claire gives the same reply. The climax has a lot in common with the crucial scene in 1976 film Marathon Man. Both were shot in Los Angeles, called Kirby Plaza in Heroes, but both were supposed to take place in New York. And then in both, a principal character who operates under assumed name is stabbed. In Heroes, his name is Syaza. In Marathon Man, his name is Celia. So yeah.
What?
Apparently, not Syaza. Celia. When the camera moves over the open manhole displayed, when Syaza's body disappears, Mohinder mentions the word kindred. Kindred is the next episode in which we see Syaza. And the opening narration by Mohinder is a longer version of the opening narration from Genesis. That is it. So, oh yeah, let's do grades. So, I will go with a B. No, I'm not even going to go with a B. I'm going to go with a C because of... I'm sorry, it's got...
I'm going to jump through this Google Plus Hangout.
If you listen to the podcast, nearly every of my marks are C's. No, it's because you're looking for a big fight, and there wasn't a big fight, and I was extremely disappointed. So yeah, as much as the whole brotherly love thing played into it and was sweet, and may have made Lilith cry or not, who knows? Yeah, I just couldn't get past it. Lilith?
Honestly, like the first time I saw it, because I was an emotional, weepy little bitch back then, it was like a B+. But now that I'm older, my heart's colder, it's like a C+. I totally agree with Ricky about the fight. The Nathan-Peter relationship, like, it's so apropos how it ended. Well, had they gone with the original idea and we moved to a new cast, I thought that would have been perfect. But we see the same people forever, and it drags on and gets convoluted. So in retrospect, it's definitely a C+.
Tyler, what grade?
Maybe a B.
Maybe a B.
Minus the whole fight being so anticlimactic.
Well, okay. Who have I got next? I will go with Charlie.
The whole episode was probably a B+ until the fight, which could have been so much better, and then it went down to a C. Could have been better.
Let's go with Syaza. Syaza?
Yeah. Couldn't have agreed more about the fight, so probably around B-. Yeah. So, that's the highest they could get for me.
Fair enough. Tracy?
Hard to say. I'm going to go with B+. I didn't hate it that much. I mean, it could have been better, but it wasn't horrible. I've seen horrible. That was not it.
Fair enough.
We talk about favorite scenes and lines.
Okay.
And iconic moments.
Favorite scene. You go first, Lilith, because I've got to think, because it's hard to think about a favorite scene from the show. Go.
I actually like that Hero grew up kind of in this season, and you didn't think he was actually gonna stab Sylar, but he actually did do it, and that was a big shock to me the first time that I saw it, and it's the start of his really cool evolution. It gets a little lost, but this was definitely
a little lost, but
literally through time and space.
I think my favorite scene is when he brings Ando back. And he's giving him the big, I'm a hero now, I'm a man, I can do this on my own, I have to do this on my own. And then Ando just says, you look pretty badass. And he turns around and he just becomes a kid again. He's like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Never grow up.
Exactly. Charlie, what was your favorite scene from the episode?
As much as I like Sylar, it had to be when Hero stabbed Sylar because he actually did it.
Fair enough, yeah. Tracy, what was your favorite scene from the episode?
From the finale, I actually like, and I really wish they'd elaborated a bit more on that whole conversation in the dream state, Peter and Charles Deveaux, where he goes about invisibility. That'd be a good one to have. It's almost like if you call back to one of the previous episodes when Claude denied knowing him. It's like, something tells me that's a load of you-know-what.
I always got confused about what Charles's actual power was.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they never really elaborated on that. All we know is that obviously, he was part of that.
Yoda.
He's a
Jedi Master.
I was gonna say, on what was it? The Heroes Wiki or whatever. It says his ability is telepathy. I think
That's what it says, yeah. But
he's like Charles Xavier on steroids.
And he's got the wheelchair as well.
Exactly.
They love their Marvel.
And Tyler, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene would be when Claire denied not to shoot Peter.
Fair enough. It was a bit emotional.
Yeah.
For Lilith, not for me.
Shut up! I heard you sniffling from all the way over here.
Favorite lines. The only one I can think of is that badass Yatta.
Oh,
I think most people will remember that, but Lilith.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Syaza, whichever way. I'm gonna keep on pronouncing it wrong. Did you think of your favorite scene yet?
I think it would probably be the tension, that suspense moment when Sylar got Ando and he was debating whether to kill him or not.
Oh, okay.
And then Hero appeared out of nowhere. Yep.
Lilith, do you want to carry on with the favorite lines?
Yeah. Of course, it's Nathan and Peter. You saved the cheerleader so we could save the world. I will be sappy today. Do not get used to this. How about everybody else?
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but that's the
save the cheerleader so we can save the world.
Had to be that, or the Yatta.
Yeah, Yatta is like my favorite moment of the whole finale.
It's the best. It's how he said it. It's great.
Cool. Okay. So, what is next after that? Iconic moments, but I
Yep.
think we kind of got that with the scene, didn't we?
Well, honestly, for me, it's the bright glowing light that slowly burns out. That was supposed to be Peter and Nathan. Like that's what I remember most at the end of the day for the scene. Or the stupid manhole cover. The cockroach.
Stupid manhole cover with the cockroach.
God, just makes my blood boil. Ah! You can only do that if you have an epic battle. Like, there wasn't an epic battle.
It wasn't.
Not really. It was just.
It's like one of those Flash Gordon movies. The end? Question mark?
I never did pick that one up.
Okay, so next I think we will move on to characters and character development. So I'm going to say someone's name, one of the main characters, and then whoever wants to talk about it, I guess we'll go with first person to answer. And then if no one does want to answer, then me and Lilith will pick it up. So yeah, this is basically first come, first serve. So
Y'all better not leave me with Nikki or Jessica, bro.
you know we're gonna get left with Nikki and Jessica. So you're just gonna think about the character development over the course of the season and how you think they improved or declined in other people's, like in some people's opinion. So the first person I've got is Claire. Who wants to talk about
God, this character.
Claire? Does anyone want to talk about Claire?
I'll go, I guess. Is it throughout the whole, like...
Throughout the whole
all four
season,
seasons?
yes. Oh no, just the first season.
Season 1.
Alright. Okay, I never really did like her character, I guess. I used to at first, like, she was this, okay, you look at her like, oh, this awesome, invincible cheerleader, whatever she is, blonde Barbie girl. And then she becomes like this obnoxious girl who gets really obsessed about wanting to live a normal life and everything. And she's very like self-centered and everything, so I never really did like her character.
Speaking my language there. Speaking my
Great minds
language.
think alike.
Oh, no, Claire.
Let's have a show of hands, thumbs up or thumbs down, who actually likes Claire in the first season. We'll just go with first season. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Oh, it is
So
you.
we all hate Claire.
But I love Hayden Panettiere.
I was just saying, yeah, that's the thing. I like
like
the
her.
actress,
She's
but
great.
the character.
Yeah. We used when Heroes was first out, I used to do play-by-play, like post-by-post role-play gaming with Heroes. So I had like my own character, and people like would always make like fake Claire like kind of characters, and I always hated them, and I never wanted to roleplay with them because I was just like, no, I don't want to be associated with your brand. Okay.
We learned so much about Ricky on this podcast.
Next up we have DL. Does anyone want to talk about DL?
Kind of
Anything to say about
boring.
him?
I'd say not much to say about him. Seriously.
Literally not much to say about him.
Mhm.
He can phase through walls. That's pretty much it.
I think like him and Nikki, like they kind of had no chemistry, which kind of
No.
flagged him out throughout the whole season. Like I don't know what it is about him, but he was just so boring. Yeah, we'll just.
He was just that guy
really
who
wanted
walked
to
through walls.
So we'll
I'll
move
tell
away.
you.
Go on
There's
then.
one word to sum it up.
Oh God.
Meh. That's it.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, the next one we're gonna go with is Hero. Who wants to talk about Hero?
I'll talk about it.
Everybody.
Oh. Go on, Charlie.
I really liked him. I love his development. He went so childlike and innocent, but he got so much more mature throughout the series, especially when he tried to save Charlie, my namesake. Love that. and then he couldn't do it, and like it really grew him up. Like, he couldn't save everyone. It made him see that reality isn't what you want it to be all the time. And I like the fact that he matured enough to go and kill Syaza when he saw he had to. He let his innocence go. I like that. He was the one who had the best character development for me.
Does anyone else have any opinions on the hero Nakamura? No? See, Charlie, you said everything great and succinct, so everyone agrees. Next up we have Isaac. Does anyone want to talk about Isaac? Oh, that says it all.
I'll take that one if nobody else wants him.
Yeah, go for it, Tracy.
Well, I thought it was interesting how he goes from having to use drugs to access his powers to being able to do it independently. The sad thing is he goes back to using the drugs when he loses the romance with Simone.
Yeah.
And well, she got killed because he shot her. He wound up shooting.
I think I've said this in like one of the previous podcasts, but Isaac is essentially the first kind of hero in the story. Like, he's the one who kind of starts a call to arms, and he's the first one who tries to do something using his power. Like, he wants to try and stop this bomb from going off that he's painted, and so he's kind of the first hero, even before like Hiro Nakamura actually starts doing anything, even before Peter starts doing anything. He's the first one, and he could have been a really good character if they hadn't had just got rid of him because. Yeah.
But he got killed.
Well, they had that plan originally from the original pilot, and I feel like they really, for some reason, felt like they should go through with it.
Yeah. Because in the original pilot, he got his hand chopped off. I wonder how anything would have happened with him just being.
He had to learn to paint with his feet.
Yeah.
Or his other hand.
Exactly. So next up we have we're gonna do two in one. Jessica and Nikki. Does anyone want to talk about Jessica and Nikki? Oh, look at everyone rushing.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
It needs to be
Like
done.
I said, I like Jessica. I think that it was an interesting premise that they were twins and they died through this really weird, tragic thing, and that it kind of presented itself as, a split personality. But the whole actual Nikki and DL thing is what sours it. They literally get dragged into the fight for no reason other than so that Jessica can do the thing for Peter, and then Nikki can do the thing for. Well, no, she can do it. Jessica does the thing with Nathan, and then Nikki does the thing for Peter. Like, that's just really 23 episodes of forcing the Sandersons on us. She could have been a cool character.
How did Peter?
Oh,
get
she absorbed
together
her
with
super
Nikki?
strength. Oh, I know, right? 5 years gone, that's so interesting. It was an interesting choice, and we never have to explore it ever again, thank God.
Maybe.
Well, then technically they force Nikki and Jessica on us, and then they force Nikki on us for like another 11 episodes.
Yeah, for no reason. They were like at that point they were scared to kill characters off, and they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Also, on a side note, I've got Jenny's stuff for the questions that we had earlier, so I will say her grade for the show was a B-. Her favourite scene was Hiro stabbing Syaza, and her favourite line, of course, is the Yatta.
I'm so surprised they're so unanimous.
Okay, the next up we have our favourite, mine and Lilith's favourite, poor Matt Parkman. Who wants to talk about Matt Parkman? No one?
He hasn't talked about person yet.
Jenny, do you want to talk about Matt, or we can pop?
Matt.
You like him?
Yeah, because he reads people's minds, and that's interesting. Cause
What do you think about his character development over the series, the episode, the season?
Hasn't changed much.
Yeah?
I think.
Fair enough. Me and Lilith always talk about how it seems like Matt Parkman is the put down upon kind of character, the one who always gets
He's the whipping
Dragged
boy.
He's like or something.
Yeah, he is the whipping boy of the show. Lilith always says it's because of Janice, I actually think that I don't mind Janice after a couple of episodes because I think Janice actually loves Matt when in 6 months ago she actually loves him and she will be with him no matter what. But because he doesn't feel good about himself, he just wants to move up and he kind of pushes her away, and that's why she cheats on him. And Lilith doesn't like when I say that.
I totally get your point of view for that, but like I said, they're married, and like that's just kind of not cool for either party to do. And then expect him just to suck it up because you're a step above him, and you know he can't get better.
Okay. Does anyone else want to say anything about Matty Parkman?
He's my hero. Me and Molly are like two peas in the pod.
I was gonna say I like him as a character, but I mean, not much else to say.
He's coming back, guys. So
yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the oldest little man in the world, Micah. Does anyone want to talk about Micah?
I'll just
Doesn't
say
get
Mike is
much.
cool.
I was gonna say I like his ability, and I mean there wasn't much character development with him. I feel like there wasn't that much character development with him in season 1.
Yeah, because he's an old man when he starts out, and he's pretty much an old man throughout the whole way, isn't he? He only has isn't there one part where he seems like a little child? I think it's when he's talking to his dad when they're running away from Jessica, and he's like, we should go back, and he gets a bit spoiled bratty, but apart from that, he is the one who keeps that Sanders' family together.
and alive.
And alive, yeah.
And the bills paid.
I know, that money.
Next up, we have Mahinda. Who wants to talk about Mahinda?
Really like Mahinda.
I miss his narrations.
Yeah. Lilith, I know you've got a lot to say about your favourite Mahinda, don't you?
I do. I really appreciate that. He's the one in season 1 that doesn't have the powers, and his father basically started all these heroes on this crash course collision. And so I always thought it was interesting that, it's the Suresh's that are actually, you got your Petrellis and you got your Bennetts, but really it's the Suresh's. It's the Shanti virus, and it's all there.
Don't forget about your Deveaux. Don't forget about your Deveaux.
Oh, they've shoehorned the Deveaux in. Son of a gun. It's like, oh, wait, we don't have any people of color. Let's shove this down everybody's throat. We killed Isaac. Whoopsie!
I like Mahinda. He's just got that whole kind of... He's... In the first season, he kind of seems like he makes exactly the same mistakes as his father. Especially when it comes to Sylar.
Yeah.
He...
Oh, God, yes.
So, yeah. Next up, we have everyone's favourite anti-hero, Nathan. Does anyone want to speak about Nathan? I love Nathan. I think he's great. I like Nathan. I really think, even though he's a bit of a bastard, I think he's a great bastard.
That character got so much disservice, though, because they kept trying to force these plots. That's the only thing that I really ever had a problem with.
I think they could have had him and Hero be in more scenes together.
That's my crack shit up.
Flying man.
Does anyone else have anything to say about Nathan?
He's the president.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in Heroes Reborn? Oh no, he won't be there. Oh no, I forgot.
They can rewrite this stuff.
Yeah, he died.
Maybe they'll go back and...
Maybe Hero go back in time and get him.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say someone.
The only way.
Okay, next up, we have Noah Bennett. Does anyone want to speak about Noah Bennett?
Everybody's like, he's just the best. What can you say?
I love how he almost dies in a lot of episodes, but he cheats death.
Okay, because he's badass. I think he's going to be the best character to bridge. I'm hoping that they keep him around in Heroes Reborn for every episode because I think he's going to be the best way to bridge the old series and the new series.
He cheats death all the time.
Yeah. Let's just hope that they bring Ando back as well.
Well, I was gonna say, because as of now, they're bringing Hero and
Yeah.
him and then the Haitian.
Yeah, yeah.
Haitian's back.
Exactly. So yeah. Okay. Next up, we will talk about old floppy hair himself, Peter Petrelli. Does anyone want to talk
Mr.
about?
Handsome.
So annoying.
I'll stare off into the distance for this.
Yeah, you gotta like a fellow nurse.
Oh,
Okay. Does everyone want to talk about Peter? Because we can.
I said we could all just take a turn.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So I'll start with Tracy. Do you want to talk about Hero? Hero. Do you want to talk about Peter first?
I suppose he's my favorite of the main cast. My absolute favorite of the main cast.
How come?
A lot of reasons. It's hard to pin down any one thing, and plus, like I said, I gotta support a fellow nurse.
Ah, fair enough.
That's what I do for. I'm a hospice nurse in real life, so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no
Shout out
wonder.
to you.
Next, we will go to Jenny. Jenny, do you want to say anything about Peter?
Not really.
Yeah, she doesn't like Peter as well. Charlie, give me something on Peter.
I liked Peter at the beginning, but he got annoying for me afterwards.
Yeah.
He got so annoying. He could have been better as a character, I think.
I was gonna say I love his ability, but the whole fact is he kind of got a little too powerful at one point, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take it away from you, and you're just now only gonna be able to copy one ability."
I kind of like that though. I really like that aspect
I was
of
gonna
his
say,
power.
I was reading somewhere that apparently if he injected himself with the formula, he would have his regular ability back.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do that because they couldn't even like support a fight with all his powers, let alone one of his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thus, his fight with Silas.
Exactly.
Close the door!
Lilith.
Man, I like I said, I was the most familiar with Milo and Micah's actor coming into this, and he was literally like written too young. I think like he's supposed to be in his like mid to late 20s, but he acts like an 18-year-old, so it just frustrated me. He had the potential to be so great, but he was just so stuck in his insecurities, like Angela says in this episode. And I'm like, damn, that was the realest conversation they ever had about Peter. He just kept getting in the way of himself every single season, absolutely. And that's unfortunate. Yeah. I don't know if that's the point of the character, though. It didn't seem like it.
They just didn't know what to do with him. Syaza? Do you have anything to say about Peter? Every time I've seen your name 3 or 4 times.
You get it the first time, and then the second time you didn't get it, so it's okay.
Do you have anything?
Didn't love him, didn't hate him. He had this best power at first, and then suddenly like his power got it was kind of taken away from him at one point. But he was always this. To me, he was like this character that tried to butt into every situation and try to fix things. So
he did have a hero complex. Yuck. The final one on this main character list. Everyone, do not rush about talking about this character.
Oh God.
It is Simone. Who wants to talk about Simone?
I'll stare off into the distance on this one as well.
I feel glad she died.
Oh yeah.
I knew she was gonna die.
I think everyone is glad she died.
You just knew she was gonna die.
The best thing, the best conversation me and Lilith have ever had about Simone is when she sees Isaac after he's come back and he's off drugs, and he takes his shirt off, and she just gets so thirsty. She's just all up
thirsty.
Full on dehydrated. Okay.
I know, right? And then Peter comes in, and she's just like, oh, yeah, that is her.
I didn't like her.
Yeah, she was kind of a means to an end. I'd like to think that they were going to kill her off for the whole time, but you never know.
I don't think so. I just think she didn't have chemistry with either one of them. So they're like, you know what?
They're like,
Abort,
you know what?
abort.
We're acting this character. We're just shaping the character. Bye, finito.
Cool. Okay. I've got loads of little recurring characters, so we can go into them like really quickly, because some of them I really want to talk about or hear people's opinions. First person we've got is Sandra Bennett. Does anyone want to talk about
Love Sandra Bennett. Love her.
Except minus
Like
the fact that she's a little out there because the Haitian kept having to erase her memory, but
Yeah. She's awesome though.
She is like
I'm not like her.
she is on a par with Mama Petrelli. And a good segue. Let's go on to Mama Petrelli.
just segue.
Oh.
Does anyone have any thoughts about Mama Petrelli, or should
I'm
we say
glad
kick
she became
ass?
the main character.
Yes, she is probably one of the best. She was one of the best characters as the show went on. But does anyone else have anything to say about the glorious Mama Petrelli?
Good at manipulating things behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was just saying she's very good at manipulating.
Sorry, yeah, she is very, very manipulative, and she's so good at playing her boys as well. She's so good at.
Remember how she convinced Tyler that he was her son?
Yeah, exactly. She can persuade anyone, goddamn anything. Next up, we have the Haitian. Who wants to talk about the Haitian, or how little he actually speaks? Yeah, there isn't much to say about him apart from.
He's Batman!
My favorite.
He pops out of nowhere, out of the silence and shadows. And then he has this little tiny boy.
And it's just like how much of a creeper he is when he, like, in that scene in the first season, in this first season, when he comes out of Claire's cupboard and like snatches her. Oh my god, it's so creepy.
Like, how long were you there for?
I know, he was just there all night.
Just waiting.
Next up we have let's go with Ando. Who wants to speak? Does anyone want to say anything about Ando, or we can talk about Ando and Hero as a couple? And by couple, I mean
I think we talk about them as a couple.
Bro TP.
Bro TP. Does anyone want to talk about them two? How good they are together? Lilith, go on.
Okay, like, that's the thing. They're, like, literally the yin and yang to each other. They complement each other so well. One is very irritating without the other, as we learn in the many side adventures where they have to go off by themselves. But together, they're pure perfection. There's only, like, 1 or 2 times in the whole series where they're together where I'm just like, ugh. So that's saying a lot for Heroes.
Cool. Anyone else have any thoughts on the old Ando? No. Okay, then.
Hot with a sword.
We're going to talk
I like
about.
the fact that he's got that huge sword near the end.
We'll talk about Eden. Does anyone want to talk about Eden and how much you wished Eden had stayed around? And
Really should have.
Honestly, I feel like she should have at least stayed on for maybe another season or two.
Yeah, she was a great character. I thought she was the best. She was probably one of the best written women in the first half of the season, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's not much in the way of competition when you've got Nikki and Jessica as the only other ones, and Simone. So yeah. Next up.
Wait, Ricky, hold on.
What?
Long hair, no care, or short in bed?
Oh, long hair, no care. When in 6 months ago, when she's just like using her powers just absolutely with no remorse. I loved her when she did that. Next up we have. Oh my god!
A donut or something.
Let's go with. This is just a joke for Lilith, but let's go with Lilith's favorite character in Janice Parkman. Do you want to Lilith? Tell us about how much you love Janice Parkman.
Oh man, she was like the archetype for the nagging wife, and it bothered me every time. It was so basic. Like, that was like writing 101, you get a D+.
Did anyone like Janice Parkman?
No.
I was kind of confused when she kept. I think it was like Matt's surname, and she named her son after Matt.
Oh yeah.
They were like separated for a while. I was like, what?
Matty Parkman Jr.
Oh. Next, I'm going to talk. Oh, does anyone want to talk about number 9, Claude Rains? Tracy. Tracy, do you wanna talk about him? I saw a big smile come across your face when I said
My
that.
favorite bits to rewatch on DVD. I was doing that for a little bit with the DVDs. I watch all his scenes. Just fast forward.
It's just
I'm sure you could probably find on YouTube all his scenes.
yeah, just all clipped together.
Yep.
Yeah, I also have them on an old-fashioned VHS.
Oh,
I'm low tech.
look at that.
That's dedication right there.
I think
Old-fashioned VHS.
I love
Yes,
thing I like-
have it.
the thing I liked about Claude is that they it seemed like they only had him for like maybe for like a week's worth of shooting, so they were just like, you know what, let's just skip the BS and you just say whatever is on your mind, and that's what the character did. He was just straight to the point and so badass about it because he didn't like beat around the bush, so to speak. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's also just
I love
in
the-
English.
Yeah.
I love the bit when he says to Peter when he first meets him, "Fantastic, one of those," and just walks away.
Yeah.
And
Next
that
up-
apparently was ad-libbed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Of course. He's notorious for that.
Next up, we will talk about Ted Sprague. Does anyone want to talk about Ted? I kind of like
Poor
Ted.
Ted.
I
Yeah,
think
he's the most sympathetic character, I think.
Especially when has anyone watched the unaired pilot as well?
Yeah.
Not really. I
Sure.
found it at one point, but didn't watch
It's
it.
on my DVD. I watched it.
I was gonna say I
I
have
haven't
the
watched
first
it.
two
It's
seasons on
been a while.
box.
Because the original character that they had as Ted Sprague was a character called Amid, and he was part of a terrorist cell, which obviously they had to get rid of because it was a bit, on the nose.
Which is funny because fast forward a couple years later, you got freaking what is it? The Homeland show.
Yeah,
With Claire Danes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they basically replaced him out, and I thought he was a great character. I really felt sorry for him. He was quite sympathetic, and he was the first kind of character that you met who was actually affected some way by his powers, as opposed to being emo about them like the rest of them were. He actually had some kind of badness about his powers. So yeah. Anyone else got anything to say about Ted or good old Teddy Bear?
Me, I think it's interesting about Wacky wanted the revenge because when HRG found him, he was like, "You were just emitting low-level radiation. That's not good. Like even your cell phone, sorry guys, it emits it. They're still doing studies on it. So it's like maybe you should have watched him a little more carefully. So I totally felt like he was justified in wanting revenge on him.
Okay, next up, and I'm going to field this to Charlie because I know she will want to speak about
Charlie.
this. Sylar, what would you like to say about Sylar?
I
Charlie
love
first.
Sylar in this season. I like how creepy he is. I think he should have been more creepy in the other seasons.
Oh, do you hate? You
I
hate?
would say, do you hate the fact that he became like a goody two shoes in a way?
Yes. He shouldn't have been that. He should have been as creepy. I like him creepy.
I think the main question that we have to ask about Sylar is like kind of what was his overall goal in using his powers? Was he like doing it because he changed like loads of times over the season? Like
He
at first he was just doing it to collect powers. Then it was to give eliminate people who didn't want their powers or something like that. And then at the end it's like him thinking he's a hero. Like, what do you think about that? Or did I just make random doo-doo
It
up?
was confusing. I think it should have been just one goal, and that should have been like he wants power because
The acquisition of powers.
yeah,
Yes.
because he's just been a low watchman his whole life, and now he wants to be
Pokemon.
special.
He was special, and then not like special as he wanted to be. And then that's the reason he
Yeah.
killed.
I also think that Sylar, I would say that in that Sylar was a creation of like other people. Like I've said it on the podcast before, but like his mother is essentially his mother, and I think his father is kind of Chandra, in the fact that they helped create the character of Sylar by telling him he was special and like pushing it onto him. That's what his mother did, and
Yeah.
Chandra was just like, you're special, and then
Like,
no, you're not.
You're not.
You're not special
wait,
anymore.
no, you're not that. You're not special.
And then he was like, oh wait, you are
Bye.
special. You are special. Oh well, yeah. You can be my best friend now. So yeah.
Oh, Fran was so gullible.
We are coming towards the end of these characters. Next up, we only have a couple left. So Molly Walker. No, there's not even much to say about Molly Walker,
Molly!
is there? By a show of thumbs up and thumbs down, who completely forgot about Molly towards the end of the season? Like, who completely forgot about her? Because I totally forgot about her.
Kind of.
Did you or did you not?
Not really.
A middle bit. I'm in the middle.
Jesus. Oh my. A lot more people remembered her than I would have thought.
Well, like I said, she is a Deus Ex Machina, so it's like I didn't think we were actually ever going to see her again after Matt rescued her, and no, after Sylar attempted to snatch her. I never
feel bad
imagined
that
she was going to be the tracking system.
Yeah,
The
when they said the
tracking
walker
system.
system, I was expecting something high tech at the top of the Deveaux building.
Yeah, I couldn't even. I didn't even put two and two together about the Walker.
No,
Walker
yeah, I was
detection
gonna say,
system.
but no, I kind of forgot about her a little bit, and then as soon as
Uh-oh.
they had said the whole Walker system, I'm like, aha, Molly.
Fair enough. Okay, next up we will talk about. Shall we talk about Candace? Does anyone want to talk about Candace?
Ugh.
It's not really much to talk about.
Ugh.
Candace was kind of evil. I kind of liked that.
Boy, do I was gonna say, she was kind of for lack of a
She's
better
alright in
word.
Landslide, I think.
Sorry, what was that?
I think she was okay in Landslide when she seemed to genuinely be concerned about Micah, but then after other episodes you see her, it's like, I don't like you.
I thought she was. Well, when you read her backstory, you can tell why she's kind of how she is, and she like some of the women on her Heroes, she just has daddy issues, and she Lindemann was her daddy, essentially. So yeah.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
So wrong on so many levels.
There is only one character left to talk about, and that is the second best sidekick on the show, Zach. Does anyone want to talk about Zach?
Oh, I miss him.
Go on, you guys. If anyone wants to talk about him, just shout it out.
Sad because he left because he didn't remember anything.
Oh, no,
sad about that.
Didn't he remember after a while? Didn't she
I
remind
don't think
him?
he did. I think he had to remember it all again.
Okay, but he got a better offer, didn't he? What did he go to after that? He went and became the Terminator, didn't he? Yeah, he became John Connor. So.
I was gonna say he went
That
into the.
happened.
I didn't know that.
And then he also was in a show called Secret Circle, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, he was Adam in Secret Circle. I was like, when I first had watched that show, I was like, why does he look so familiar?
Okay, so that is all I have to talk about. Lilith, do you have anything you want to bring up?
How many of you? Oh yeah, okay. How many of you guys actually got super involved in the tie-in comic books and then all those really cool summer events that they had, like Heroes Evolution and all that stuff?
Wait, what?
I got involved in the gaming a little bit.
Did you do the ARG game? The what was
the
it
Heroes
called?
Evolution?
Yeah.
I kind of did.
I was getting emails from Micah for a while there, and Eavesdropper, whoever that was supposed to be.
I was saying, I think Eavesdropper was supposed to be
Julian
Wasn't
Dumont.
it?
Yeah.
No, it was his wife. His wife.
Wasn't it the clone? It was the clone, and it was the guy who
clone's
cloned
wife.
himself and Sabine or something like that. Yeah. Did anyone read the comics all the time, or are you only just looking back on them now?
I want to.
And by comics, I mean the graphic novels.
I
I will send you the link.
Pages.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have I bought what
I've
was
got
it?
them on my
Like,
computer somewhere.
I have the volume 2, like the physical copy.
Yeah.
And then I would say that's the only one I have.
I think I bought the first one, and then I completely forgot about the rest of them. Did anyone get any Heroes paraphernalia? Did anyone buy any of the toys or?
Oh yeah.
I didn't get the chance to. I've only really come into Heroes in
Oh,
the last 2 years, so I didn't get any chance to.
You can find them on Amazon.
It
I
was
would say
like-
you should probably buy them on Amazon.
Or eBay.
I went to a comic book convention the other day, and they had like the hero sword.
Oh, I saw that.
I didn't have enough money to buy it. I was so pissed off. But yeah. So yeah. I think that is about it.
All right.
You
I've got
forgot about
Solidarity.
Kaito.
Who did I forget about?
Kaito.
Kaito. Does anyone want to talk about George
yeah.
Takei?
Oh, George Takei for the win. I was so surprised he turned up. Like, oh my god, that's Hero's dad.
And they kept on hinting at it. Did they hint at it, or no? There was the license plate was the same as the Starship Enterprise,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah.
He was.
And he was just angry all the time. I loved it.
He was. It's so different from Sulu. I love it.
He's a Japanese businessman. Of course he was upset all the time.
Like in that moment when Hero hugged him, he was like, "What?
Feelings, emotions.
What is this? Don't hug me."
Okay, so it has been how long? About an hour and a half. Jesus. Nice.
Well, we gotta let it start, Ricky.
Time flies when you're just talking about heroes.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
right? So I think the plan is that we're gonna do this again for the season 2 finale, which won't even be that long. It'll be in a couple of weeks because
Yeah.
we live tweet the episodes. We live tweet like at least 2 episodes a week. So we should be there by about 4 weeks. We should be there. So yeah. We will let you all know again. Hopefully see you all again. Shall I run through? Nah, you guys have heard everything that I say weekly on the podcast. So yeah, I won't even bother with that. So yeah, just carry on following us, carry on subscribing, all that doo-doo. It was what? It was all that doo-doo. Yeah, it was really nice to meet you all and chat to you all. So yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, nice putting faces to the tweets.
Yes, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, with your every week sending us emails about what you thought of the show. How dare you, Charlie?
Oh, she's gonna wait when we get to that episode where we talk about it. Remember? Episode 22, remember?
Oh, we'll get it. Cool. Okay, so I am going to sign out. I don't know if you guys want to carry on talking about Heroes, but yeah.
I got to go.
I've got to go.
Getting pretty late.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks for having me.